I'm also really curious. The issue for everyone right now, it's in two categories. We're not growing enough, or we didn't retain enough. So, with the doors open back up, not enough money came back in to keep us viable. Or, actually a good amount of people came back in, but we're not growing enough. What's everyone having? Does everyone have a retention issue, or they're having a growth issue? I think what you said that I really heard was these cancellations and the stuff coming in, and then a client who loved it when it could be on site, and for whatever reason they decided it's not safe enough. Yeah. So in the marketing language and what we talk about, I caught myself, I was talking about how safe it was. Oh, don't worry, coming in safe. If you think that you are going to convince somebody digitally because you made a cute video or it's a photo of squirt on your fucking mat or something, that's not that.
By the way, I still do because like a reminder.
Correct, 100%. It's sure, yeah. It's like it's got to be there. It's the optics, the brand optics, or it's good for that. So you don't have the individuals of the world that are going to troll you in the comments and report you and this, that, and then the other thing. But at the end of the day, you're only looking for the people who are like, I really don't care. Old people cough in my mouth. I'm ready to go. Like you, yeah. Like if you have to, I mean, that is the clientele now. Someone who has less regard. Now you will trickle in some people like, okay, I checked. You do everything clean. I appreciate that, and I will trust you and your staff to keep doing that. Temperature checks, whatever. But I think that new avatar of who everyone is at a macro level is someone who is not scared of the virus to that degree, to the risk to reward for them to go to somewhere for an hour. Where clear, fitness is not a clean thing. It is the bottleneck, the thing that, yoga, great streaming opportunity, CrossFit, crap streaming opportunity. Absolutely. Just from an equipment standpoint, your client experience inside of a CrossFit studio or even an Orange Theory didn't kit. And when I say kit, they didn't compile their equipment. Barry's, are you guys familiar? Barry's Bootcamp kitted the red light, the bands, the dumbbells. I mean, you could go and get your entire Barry's kit, throw your red light halogen in your ceiling in your house, and you could have a red room experience. It was really well done. Orange Theory can't fucking kit a treadmill and a bubble rower. It's not happening. You just can't get it. CrossFit, well, the supply chain thing aside, depending, like your demographic, my demographic, we're talking 600 to 900 square foot apartments and townhome. We're not talking big homes with yards. You guys may be a little closer, some families with driveways and it also depended kind of who your clientele was, where was their domicile, how big is their domicile, and is it even conducive for in-house fitness, right? I've got clients that are like, we loaned out every piece of equipment we had to paying customers. And we essentially, like most fitness studios that have the equipment, became an equipment rental company overnight. It was the thing that kept 97% of everybody paying. We were an equipment rental company. But that works. That works as long as they have it. We still have 7% of people that have chosen not to come back, but they still have the equipment. Somebody has a power drill of yours, they feel indebted to you. Someone's borrowed something of yours, even if they're paying for it, there's still a physical connection there. But yeah, it's really hard. I look at like the barbell-based studios, or even they use cardio equipment and things like that. It's like I can't create, even with streaming, I can't recreate that. I can't create that experience, which is hard. But like kitting equipment is something like we're looking at now. So if you look at Australia's got on this way quicker than the United States. So they did the same trend that we did. Alert closed down, and then things started doing better.
And this is what I'm doing. So when it does shift virtually, then your physical community and your virtual community might be two completely different communities.
Yeah.
I wonder if that will just help look at
yeah. I think that virtually, no one in Des Moines, Iowa is gonna sign up for Movement Anywhere.
Wait, so just
pause. So
I'm just saying, if you put that mental state, I could pull up my phone right now and show you people from South Africa.
100%, I believe it. We did a virtual event, and I get it. At scale, it won't be at scale though. And scale's all I'm talking about, because those outlier scenarios don't pay that $6,000 rent. So when you think at scale, the one thing at scale that can work, and that Peloton can't fucking touch you on, is you have an in-person virtual 1-2 punch. Peloton is this, just awesome virtual. But it's dope to think that I could go ahead and I've never been inside Hustle House. I thought of joining Hustle House. I signed up for online Hustle House. I've been watching. I know you. I see you. I see your Instagram. You've been training me for 3 months, and now you go ahead and you offer, hey, for all of our online communities locally here in Charlotte, we're setting up 15, 20-minute meetings. These are just shoot-the-shit meetings. Come and meet us for coffee or in studio, and they're socially distanced, whatever, and you can sit there and talk about training, nutrition, lifestyle, whatever it is, and people get into that. The reason it works in South Africa, they look at you or whoever that teacher is, they're like, I like your vibe, I like your style. It has nothing to do with your, and don't take this personally, not really has anything to do with your practice. It has nothing to do with your coaching. This is virtual. There's a fucking screen in front of people. It's your personality. It's the personality people subscribe to. Digitally, yeah.
But it's also part of that personality is saying that even that little crumb matters.
Oh, 100%.
Even that little 100%. Crumb matters because that person that might not be paying the rent is talking to 5 other people.
Correct.
Then start to pay the rent.
Yeah, and the scale there, I think for us, is you're still geographically, like, yes, if it goes wide, it goes wide. Great. But still, you want that hyper-local relevancy. That is, I mean, again, unless you were designed to be an online business, and online businesses, the economic engine is low overhead. These guys can have a very nice profit margin because they don't have to rent a $6,000 studio. They're an online entity. We weren't designed for that. Our economic engine is instantly high overhead. Instantly high overhead. So the scale of what you're looking for, you're still going to be wanting to pull that hyper-local market for the scalability of it, because that is the benefit. You know, you can't go and meet Tina, Peloton instructor, infamous lady, because she don't know who you are, and she's not in Charlotte. But you could go and see someone in person in any of these other studios.
What the fuck, though?
So real quick, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, recently got called out, a question more or less by a gym owner in, fuck that, real quick, let me show you some. So this right here, this is a solution that my dude Deuce, who's one of my managers here at Urban MVMNT, we're trying to solve this fucking plyo box problem. I see plyo boxes as a huge fucking problem. For my model, for operational capacity, to take up too much space, these 3 fucking sides, like, anyway, maybe for your model, not so much. For my model, we have a huge problem. And with us trying to consolidate and utilize as much landscape as possible and square footage, we came up with this thing. So essentially, plyo box, this guy, this thing locks in. You can go ahead and unlatch it. We have plates stored in there, and there's casters on it, and essentially, yeah, like it's pretty fucking cool. Do not ask me, hold on, let me reset this. Don't ask me for specs on it. Don't ask me for how we made it. Don't ask me where I got anything about it. It's not for you. I'm not selling this. I'm not selling the design. We are doing this for Urban MVMNT. You guys realize I'm making multiple of these locations. There'll be people around the country, hopefully the world one day, that have Urban MVMNTs, and they're gonna get this proprietary shit. The way I'm building this model to be more unique than yours, or just different, not better, just different, don't get butthurt. It all revolves around concepts like this, right? I've told you guys about how we do the 5-foot barbells. I told you how we get rid of the rings. Like, I share so much shit with you guys on that stuff, and then you just have these little like CrossFit trolls that are just like, man, what are you doing there? Let me try that. Like, it's not for you, fuckface. You know, you want help? Fucking hire me for consulting. But trying to look at Urban MVMNT from a digital distance and just fucking like pick apart, and that kind of what leads me to this next thing. Just don't do it. I'm here to help you guys, and I'm not trying to make you into fucking Urban MVMNTs. I'm not trying to make you do this, okay? So again, I just thought it'd be something cool to show you though, because I know a lot of you guys have problems like that. And while I'm not giving you the fucking ins and out of it, because you need to solve your own goddamn fucking problems, because guess what? You're an entrepreneur. I did want to show you guys that no matter what, whenever you look and you use something daily that you're like, oh, this sucks, there's a way to make it better. Now it brings me to the next point. All right, so, and my whole point of that thing, and I'm sorry I got distracted, is because a post was made inside of one of these CrossFit affiliate owners groups that was a screenshot of some organic advertising I'm running. I'm gonna plug it in right here. And the question was, Stu, what movements, or why do you believe that they're bad movements, or what movements are you villainizing? Or as a CrossFit affiliate, I feel like you're kind of low-key and talking shit about me. please do tell Stu what movements are so bad and why. And I've made this content. I've got multiple podcasts. I've got fucking Instagram posts on this thing. The videos are out there. But for those of you fuckers who still need the repeat, here it is. Because again, my take on this, I always feel like it gets a little bit fresher and newer as time goes on. My take on it is this. There is no such thing as a bad or a good movement. There's no such thing as bad or good programming. There's just appropriate and inappropriate. And in all honesty, this right here, this is probably like Instagram post number like 3 that I ever made as WTF Gym Talk back in 2015. And then this video right here, this is an entire video I did on programming good movements versus bad movements, you know, breaking down this entire thing. So this is not a new mantra or thesis for me. But as I continue to build a new brand, something that I believe can move into your town and stand alone in a world of Orange Theories and CrossFits and whatever else it may be, I needed to go ahead and have a belief in fitness, and that belief in fitness does not include certain movements. Movements that were inspired and brought on due to the sport of CrossFit are not movements that I prescribe to individuals for not only like even as we evolve this CrossFit South End, but obviously now as my brand, Urban Movement. I stay away from the exercises and the movements that have complexity. Now, that's not due to the fact that they're not beneficial and they can't help. They're just not for me and my group and the people we service in a 60-minute class. And I know there's a lot of you guys sitting there, a bunch of CrossFit coaches right now that are just saying to themselves, well, what's wrong? Your coaches just can't teach the Turkish kipping L-sit overhead squat sit-up? Like, it's not that they can't, it's that we don't. Did we choose not to? Bang for the buck, ROI positive, keep it simple, stupid. These are all mantras that we embody in regards to what we do here at Urban. We geek out, like our high intensity tempo training has got science behind it regarding what tempos and when and why, right? We have our build sprints and grinds and we attach all this science to that. But when it comes to movement selection, we stick with the things that are basic, tried and true. And me going ahead and saying bad movements or badass movements, I think is what the copy said, don't have to be bad for you, is my statement that my clientele, not yours, but my clientele, do not want nor need this list of extra movements. And when I say extra, I mean like they're just fucking extra.
Why y'all got to be so extra?
Now for some of you guys, you hear that and your fucking dick shrivels up in you and you get upset at me and you think I'm attacking, you know, I'm fucking coming at your CrossFit gym. I'm not. But what I'm here to say is that do not come at me or anyone else do anything differently and think it's an attack on you, because it's not. It is us doing our own thing. There's gonna be a lot of people out there, a lot of people doing things differently than you. There's way more people smarter than me out there doing things different than you. Do not take it as an attack. Take it as looking through the lens of someone else's, you know, mindset and paradigm, and just take a look at it and be like, cool, that's neat, it's just not for me, and move the fuck on if it's not for you. If you're in this kind of like identity kind of, you know, crisis, you don't really know what you want to do, you need to call one of these guys that is doing it differently than you, and you need to talk to them and understand, where did that thought process come from? Where's the science that you're basing this on? What problem are you trying to fix that maybe these other movements didn't fix? But this happens weekly, monthly for me, where someone sees something we do at Urban and sees it as a direct attack on their model, or they hear me make some content and they think it's me talking shit on their model. Trust me, you'll know when I'm fucking talking shit. And all this is us doing our thing, which is designed by design different than your thing. Again, you guys know, if you ever have questions about stuff that we do here, please shoot me a DM. If you're one of these guys that has fucking been sending me fucking messages about licensing or franchising, all this, please just stay tuned. It's soon enough, hopefully soon enough, coronavirus pending. But yeah, I just want to take a second and talk about that, guys. Different isn't always an attack on you.